I want to take you back to Alexandra now. The army has been deployed there to quell looting in that part of Johannesburg. As you have seen since the early hours of this morning, looting has been spreading further across Gauteng and KwaZulu-Natal and becoming even more deadly. At least 45 people have been killed in the escalating violence, with hundreds now behind bars. Masego Rahlaga joins us now from Alexandra. Masego, we have been speaking over the last, 2.5 hours. I think what is clear now, compared to when I spoke to you about 2.5 hours ago, when we started with our first crossing, calm seems to have been restored in Alexandra, thanks to the SANDF members.
Definitely, Clement. I mean, for the first time, we were even able to able to make our way into the actual Pan-African Mall. So that was actually quite something, because we had never been able to gain entry into the Pan-African Mall. Police had never been able to gain entry into that mall since we were with them, at least today. But the soldiers held no punches, Clement. They came right in, and now we see the military police vehicles are also here. And Clement, what we understand is that General Begikele, the Minister of Police in South Africa, is apparently making his way to Alexandra. So we are going to be on the lookout for that. Those are the things that we're hearing. We haven't really gotten confirmation, and what we know is that the only, so to say, prominent person that has arrived here is the acting commissioner of Gauteng, who's standing in for General Elias Mawela, and Datem Tombeni is definitely here. But in terms of the calm that has been restored here, I can tell you, definitely the SANDF members, Clement, I mean, at some point, I keep coming back to this intersection. And, you won't pass by here without seeing that something terrible happened in the past few hours. You can tell that there was a lot of destruction. People actually took away people's livelihoods by, deciding to loot these shops. It no longer is about the demand for the former president to be released. At some point, I tried to speak to a certain gentleman about whether or not this is still about the former president, and he said he doesn't care about the former president because he, in fact, supports a whole different party to the ANC. So he says the ANC is punishing the former president, and he doesn't care because he does believe that the former president, the allegations against him in terms of state capture are true. So this definitely is no longer about that anymore. But Clement, in the past hour or two that you and I have been speaking, I can definitely say that more SANDF members have been deployed to Alexandra in the past few minutes. They come in drips and drabs, and they've definitely been able to restore some calm here. They've been able to get into the Pan-African Mall. And over there, Clement, it's a very sad situation. I don't know if the viewers were able to see what Teddy and I were showing them as we walked into the mall with the South African National Defence Force. But basically nothing left except the structures that show, that structure that shows you that this was once a Bradlow shop, or this was once a McDonald's, or this was once whatever shop. That's all that's left. Whatever was inside, including tables and chairs if it was a restaurant, have been stripped from the building. People were still coming back, for instance, to take some scrap, basically to sell for a few coins. But definitely this intersection, not a lot of people here anymore. No more looting in Alexandra, at least here at the Pan-African Mall.
Yeah, Masego, it's just devastating. I mean, you've just put it so clearly that when you are going around and checking that trail of destruction, all you see is what used to be. This is what used to be a particular store and not necessarily what is. And there are people that used to work in those stores. Where do they report to work the next day? There's no work to report to. And these are the long-term consequences that we are talking about. We'll come back to you, Masego. You've indicated that you are hearing that the police minister may be making his way to Alexandra. We'll come back to you. as soon as things develop. Masego Rahlaga, live to us from Alexandra. The SANDF members seem like they have managed to bring about some normality, some calm in Alexandra. If you didn't watch earlier on, what you are looking at now is in stark contrast to the visuals that Masego and our colleague Teddy was bringing about 2 hours ago. That area was congested. There were hundreds of people that were still making out with what they have looted. And as soon as the members of the SANDF arrived, we started seeing people scatter around. And I suppose that's the positive about the deployment of the SANDF, supplementing the SAPS members and helping them on the ground there. They were overwhelmed in the early hours of this morning, as Masego was reporting to us live from Alexandra.